Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday for you guys. Glad to have you here in this quick, kind of fun podcast today that I have planned. And that's just because, last night's live stream, I said I was going to bring a couple of devices to just kind of show and reminisce on. So I do have them with me. I have two of them charging right now. They actually charged. Well, one of them actually charged. The other one's not charging, so that's not good. I was kind of hoping that the LG Vault will charge. But anyways, so a couple of things that I do want to share with you guys. Obviously, we're going to get started here in just a moment. One of them basically is this really cool news coming from MobileX and Peter Adderton that was posted on X, which I'm going to share with you guys and talk about it. Also going to share with you guys a way for you guys to basically, chat with me if you guys want to without having to use any of like the social chat sites or any of that type of stuff. This being in regards of like privacy, some people don't want their phone numbers or, any of their metadata basically shared or anything like that. And so I have a solution for that, which I will, I shared in the YouTube community, but I will also share it here and talk a little bit about it. So we'll kind of just talk about that, and I'm like getting notifications on all these different phones that I have. So it's like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of funny, but anyways, glad to have you guys here. Welcome back. And we're going to get started here in just a second. As you're coming in, feel free to say hello. I would love for you guys to, say what's up or whatever, like early morning and whatnot. And yeah, I'm going to drop a poll question here. Actually, no, I'm going to drop a Q&A. So hang on. Let's just kind of back out of that. And I'm going to start a Q&A. And basically, I'm just going to ask. Favorite phone. So we'll just kind of start that Q&A here. So you can just like comment, whatever you guys want to respond to that. It'll be in the chat for you guys. So anyways, this morning, without keeping things too long, so we got a little bit of interesting news coming out of MobileX. So during the month of November, basically, one of the things that the CEO of MobileX was kind of like putting out there on social media was how you can use MobileX to help you get, like those special deal promotions that require a number port in. So, a lot of people were kind of, signing up with MobileX and getting a phone number with them. And then when these sales went live, people were using their newly created MobileX phone numbers as numbers to port in to another provider to get, take advantage of a deal, an offering. And so a lot of people kind of did that, MobileX recognizes that people kind of do that to them. So it's like a very funny thing, right? It's like, oh, I'll sign up with MobileX and I'll get a phone number, and, when a promotion deal comes along and requires a port in, I'll use that phone number as a way to, to take advantage of that deal. People have been doing this for a long time. Like, you can open up a MobileX account and pay bare minimum, like, a couple of bucks just to have a phone number that, when, say, something later on this year happens and it's like, oh yeah, you can get this phone absolutely free if you port a number over to, to this provider. Then they're like, oh yeah, I have a phone number to port, and they take that number and they port it over to the provider to get the phone for free or whatever the case may be, right? So the CEO of MobileX pretty much like understands that, and they know that pretty well. And so he kind of touted about it on social media on X. And so yeah. But now there's a reason why he was okay with it. Like, some people were just like, aren't you worried about, all the numbers that's leaving MobileX and going to like Metro or going to, whatever provider, people are going to. But he had a plan this entire time. And this is the plan that, I want people to kind of know what's kind of going on here. So this is a post on X from Peter Adderton himself. And what he says here is pretty much this verbatim. He says, you know what? We did so well promoting the chance for people to grab a number and snag a cool Black Friday deal from our competitors that I've decided this port that number back. I think he meant to say just port that number back. And I'll give you 3 months of MobileX US 30 gig priority data plan on me. Yep, free. Just call Care with the number you ported out, and they'll make sure you get your 3 months on me. You're welcome. Now that's actually a pretty cool deal, right? So obviously they're gonna know what number you ported out. So it's not like, if you have a number to port into MobileX that you can get this offer. It's nothing like that at all. What this is that, like I said, if you, got a phone number on MobileX and, you took that number for a Black Friday deal to get a phone and you ported it out and you got the phone or whatever. Just contact MobileX either in the app through Expert Care or call their 800 number and get a care rep on the phone and let them know. Just be like, hey, I want to port back in. I ported my number out from you guys. They'll be able to pull up your account because your account info is pretty much still there. And so they'll be able to pull it up. They'll be able to see that, hey, yeah, you took this number over to Metro. So they'll begin the port in process to bring your number back over. And once your number is back over on MobileX, then your account will be credited for 3 months of service on their $25 plan. So what up, man? So that's actually a pretty good deal. If you want to get 3 months free of MobileX service, just bring the number you took from them to another provider, bring it back to them, and boom, you get 3 months. And yeah, it's a $25 plan. Yes, it's 30 gigs of priority data and whatnot. And, it is what it is on that. So yeah, just a little quick thing that I wanted to share with everybody about those that were on MobileX that took a number from them and brought it to a different provider. Bring that number back, you'll get 3 months free. That's a pretty good deal. Yeah, so that's the first little bit of news that I wanted to talk to everybody about. A second one, and this is actually working out better for me just because, one, I'm not going to give my personal number out for people to kind of like, chat with me or whatnot. And there are different services that I could use, right? Telegram, WhatsApp, there's like all these different ones, but they require a phone number, they require an email in order to use those services, right? And of course, there are some people who are worried about, privacy with like data collection and stuff like that. So, to remedy that, shout out to one of my community members, Coffee Ice 7. But basically, I was told about Sessions, which I was like, okay, like this is like another, chat messaging service or whatnot. And I was like, okay, this is going to be kind of weird. Let me check it out. So I checked it out and I figured out what it is after downloading the app and then just kind of like, I created an account. Yeah, I created an account and everything like that. It was, the usual, except that it wasn't really the usual because it doesn't require a phone number. It doesn't require an email address. It doesn't require any of those things in order to create an account and to be able to chat. And upon looking into it further, it's a decentralized chat service. So there's not one server that is collecting all this data. Actually, your chat sessions are bouncing around through different servers globally. So this is basically a way of having a chat and keeping your data and your stuff private, so. No, you cannot use your Google Voice number with WhatsApp. They recognize it as a VoIP number. MobileX is one that is really trying to help people. Snap it was delayed. They said they will give. Yeah. And you know what? Like I talked about last night on the live stream last night. I don't know how long MobileX is going to be around. When you have issues like what's going on, like with the FCC and EchoStar, which I read some stuff on it, so I'll talk about that here in a little bit too. as far as like, what EchoStar is saying about this whole deal with the FCC. So I'll kind of get everybody's idea on that. But just real quick to just kind of wrap this little small segment up with sessions, because that's pretty much what I'm using right now. And I've put the way for people to contact me. So it's a QR code. You can scan the QR code and then I'll open up a chat thread with me and you can directly chat with me. And again, like I said, it doesn't require a phone number, it doesn't require an email address. You don't need to tie any of your social media apps to it. You can, remain anonymous or whatever. Or, just know that you don't have to have any of those things in order to have service with sessions. So sessions pretty much is like WhatsApp. It's pretty much like Telegram. It's just, it doesn't collect any data off of you. And so it works out great for me because I don't really want anyone having my phone number or, email address and stuff like that, just because my main email address, that's my main email address. So anyways, so I do have it installed on my device, both my iPhone and my Pixel. And the QR code is how you will connect with me. So, it's a very simple process of sign up. It doesn't require a whole lot of information about you. The only information it really wants from you is what username do you want to call yourself? That's just pretty much it. Think about Google 9A. Do I like it? Yeah, of course. Really like the Pixel 9A. It's a very, very great phone, in my opinion. So anyways, go to the community section here on YouTube. You guys will see my post about it. And then if you guys decide to, download sessions and create an account, then that QR code, just use the QR code scanner in the app to scan it, and that will pretty much open up a chat with me, and then you can chat directly with me. Eventually, with having more and more people here chat with me directly on sessions is where I'll create a group, and then it'll be like a group thing. Of course, what do I think about the phone? I have videos, reviews that you can check it out that cover the Pixel 9a. So you're more than welcome to go through my library of videos. I mean, they're more recently, right? The Pixel 9a is a 2025 device. So if you want to know what I really think about it, just check those videos out. They'll give you all the details of what I think about it. Send you a link. Okay, I'll send you a link to sessions. So let's see, invite a friend. There you go. I sent it to you on Google Chat. Only certain people, I'll pretty much have it opened up where you guys can message me on Google Chat and stuff like that. But I mean, it's a broad thing. So just to make it very, very simplified, doing basically just using sessions, which is just all about privacy and no data collecting. I figure it'll just be a best way for people that want to reach me directly, DM, because YouTube doesn't really have a DM. So for people to DM me directly instead of putting things in the comments, because some people are just and I'm not making fun of everybody, but I'm just saying there are some people who just are a bit on the shy side. They don't want to ask us a question that everybody can see, that they don't want to get flamed in the comment section and stuff like that. And so since YouTube doesn't have a DM where you can directly message the content creator, I decided to open up sessions, which does not require an email, does not require a phone number. You just create an account and then you scan the other user's QR code that they share, which I did here on social media, and then that opens up a chat thread between you and that person. And doesn't store IP addresses or anything like that. It does not at all whatsoever. So it's a great way to just be able to for me to be able to interact with you guys on a more personal level without you guys having to give up personal information or collect any of my personal information. So again, it's in the community tab section here on YouTube. All you gotta do is download the Sessions app, open up an account by creating a username, and then scanning my QR code, and that will get you plugged in to basically chat with me and whatnot. Thank you for checking out the channel. I really appreciate it. What's the company that I use for phone service right now? My primary is US Mobile. So I have the unlimited starter plan for 25 bucks a month on US Mobile with Dark Star. And I've been leaning towards US Mobile just because of the ability and freedom to switch networks when you know, like if I was to move around, I can, if AT&T sucks where I move to, I can always switch to Lightspeed, which is T-Mobile, or Warp, which is Verizon. So, and then there's some cool things coming down the road with US Mobile as well. That's going to be very beneficial for a lot of people out there. So I did a video about that, so you can check that out too. Anyways, yeah. So that's how you can directly connect with me is through sessions. If you want to make sure you're downloading the right, the right app. I'll just show you guys, but again, that's what the logo looks like for the app in the App Store or the Google Play Store. It's called Sessions. And then if you want to like chat with me, go into the community tab here on YouTube, and you'll find my QR code to like open up a chat with me and whatnot. And yes, I know that there's some people that might just use that opportunity to troll. And you know what? That app has a block. So if people are like messaging dumb shit, I will block you. I'm not going to like sit there and debate, argue, or anything in the chat. You're just going to get blocked. So, this is only for like serious people that want to like either chat with me or have a question for me. Because, I mean, I will chat with you back. I may not respond immediately right away. But like if you just want to have a conversation with me just for the hell of it, I'm always open to engage with you guys besides doing live streams and responding to comments and stuff like that. So we'll keep it basically like that. It's a pretty cool private chat session thing. So that's actually pretty cool and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, I said last night on a live stream that I have a couple of my very old Boost mobile phones that I was just going to kind of go through here. They're right there. A couple of them are right there on the desk. So I don't have all of them, but I have some of them, and I have one of them charging up, so then that way I can actually just like show you guys some stuff here. So we'll get into that here in a little bit. But interesting thing that I read from it was actually an article that Peter Adderton shared on X. So instead of just opening up the website, I can just go back to when he shared it. We'll find it. Okay, so let me get this pulled up real quick. It doesn't show you just yet. Share your QR code. So that way I can scan it, and then I can open the chat if you want to test it out or whatever. But anyways, yeah. These are some very old phones from like, this was like back in the day when Boost Mobile was with Sprint. So these are like all like Sprint phones. I'm gonna go through them here in a minute though. I still have more to find, like the LG Stylo 4 and a couple of other devices that's somewhere in storage. But these ones I had on me like in my room and everything like that. So, but one thing I wanted to kind of dip into is this whole thing with EchoStar. EchoStar basically, Ah, there we go. There we go. There we go. Cool, 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 cool. Hold on. Hold on really fast. I left my iPhone over there. I'm like, simultaneously doing stuff, right? Like testing out this whole session thing, and then like doing a live stream real quick. Let's see if I can. There we go. Let's see. That's actually pretty cool though, because like the person that I'm messaging, I'm gonna show you guys real quick about this whole sessions thing since I'm testing it out. But it doesn't even really like show a name or anything like that. So it kind of keeps it private and whatnot. Oh, there it goes. Now it shows. Yeah, B-Tech is messaging right now on sessions. So anyways, yeah, so we got that pretty much worked out. But anyways, yeah, so going back to this whole thing with EchoStar and the FCC and what EchoStar is saying, which is just like, one of the most craziest things ever. So I read this article earlier, been through, like all the ups and downs of this whole article, and like, EchoStar and Charlie Ergen basically stating that like they felt like that they were forced to, that there was uncertainty about the future of EchoStar and Boost Mobile, and so they felt like that, it's almost as if like they're like kind of saying that they were strong-armed into selling off spectrum, and because of doing so, which is weird because it says right here, like, once once they started selling off spectrum, the investigation that the FCC had on EchoStar, Brendan Carr, who is the chairman of the FCC, decided to shut down the investigation on EchoStar. So it's kind of weird, right? It was like, EchoStar being investigated by the FCC, making sure that they were reaching the agreed upon timelines of like the network build out and stuff like that. All these things were kind of like going on, and then all of a sudden, because EchoStar decides at this point, because of all the debt that they're in and everything, that they're just going to go ahead and sell the spectrum that they have. Mainly, the focal point is the 600 megahertz spectrum that they have holdings on, and they just it's such a weird thing, because it's like I don't see Charlie Ergen's interest in growing Boost Mobile. I've never felt it, even when I was working for the company. So in this article from on Light Reading, he makes it seem like that he had all these ambitions to grow it, but felt like that the spectrum was ripped away. And if you guys don't know right now what's going on with EchoStar, Boost Mobile, and then of course AT&T and SpaceX, because AT&T and SpaceX is purchasing spectrum from EchoStar, and as a matter of fact, AT&T right now has a small deal currently in place until this deal gets approved, which the FCC right now is on that to approve the selling of the spectrum from EchoStar to AT&T and as well as to SpaceX, and you have T-Mobile trying to block it, T-Mobile trying to slap a junction on it, basically on the whole factor of the 600 megahertz spectrum. Because AT&T wants to acquire that 600 megahertz spectrum as using it as an anchor for 6G in the future. We know that T-Mobile has, in their portfolio, they have a good amount of 600 megahertz spectrum themselves. I mean, this signal can penetrate buildings a lot better, right? So when you're within places like Walmart, if you're within places like Target or Costco or wherever you're at, right, like you'll get a better signal with that particular signal, because it's able to go through walls a lot better, right, and still maintain a connection. And it seems like that T-Mobile wants to really have a monopoly on this, because they want to be able to stop AT&T from being able to acquire this and to use it. So, when it comes down to it, this whole entire article, which, you know what, I'll drop it in the chat for you guys, so you guys can read. You guys can bookmark it and read it. But let me just grab it real quick and share it. It's a pretty interesting article, from light reading and regarding Charlie Ergen and everything that he's been doing. And T-Mobile, in my opinion, they're just, I don't know, they're the people behind it, they're just literally, I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, it goes on to focus over here. So it talks about AT&T paying $23 billion to acquire from EchoStar 30 megahertz of nationwide 3.45 gigahertz midband. And then you have they're roughly getting about 20 megahertz of nationwide 600 megahertz low band. And this is where, T-Mobile is like really trying to like stop them. So it says, among these opposing the agreements, T-Mobile wants the FCC to put some build-out conditions on the 600 megahertz license. Further, T-Mobile argued the FCC should cancel or require EchoStar to surrender all unconstructed 600 megahertz spectrum licenses. Well, of course, because I mean that's a spectrum that T-Mobile kind of has a vested interest in, right? So I mean, if they can block AT&T from deploying this or even getting their hands on it in any of the unused, as it says right here, surrender, all unconstructed, come on now. We already know where T-Mobile's going with this. And I don't even understand why T-Mobile is behaving this way if apparently they're supposed to like have surpassed Verizon in network connectivity and growing, right? Because remember, T-Mobile used to be in 4th place a long time ago. Like they were just barely behind Sprint, and then they passed Sprint, and then they initially acquired Sprint. And they've been in the 3rd place position for just a few more years after that acquisition, and now they're like really competing. They got a whole, they're doing really good, and so I don't see why they're acting. It's like they still have this mentality like they're the underdog that's fighting for just a crumb off the pie when literally they have like 1/3 of the pie. It's ridiculous. I do know that the 600 megahertz spectrum will actually do wonders for AT&T, and where to see things go. But again, this whole notion in this interview with Charlie Ergen and EchoStar and how he makes it feel like that the FCC strong-armed him. I mean, maybe they did, but maybe the reason that they were able to do that was because there was really no fight in Charlie in the first place. I mean, it's one thing if you're like trying to force a company to sell spectrum, to just like maybe they had no faith in your company at all becoming the 4th carrier, so they wanted to make sure that you couldn't become the 4th carrier. But if you had the fight in you, if the dog inside you had a big enough fight, then obviously they would feel it. Maybe you would be able to convince them otherwise. Maybe you would be able to push forward and continue on in your ambitions and achieve the goals you wanted. But if you're willing to just wave the white flag, then the fight was never there to begin with. So, I always has issues with Visible in certain buildings like Target and my local mall. But that's on the Verizon side of things, right? This acquisition is basically with that, with AT&T and SpaceX, because everyone knows that SpaceX. I mean, we've been seeing leaked renders of like the Tesla phone, they call it, or the SpaceX phone, or the Starlink phone. Well, I'm pretty sure it'll probably be like some reference to Starlink, but Peter Adderton's been very vocal about that because Starlink is a satellite internet provider. That's like its forte first. It's not a mobile phone service, and this is one of those things that he's talking about when it comes to MVNOs and how MVNOs are not set up to even be able to compete in this race. And so I mean, you guys can tell me, what do you guys think? Do you guys buy any of Charlie's explanations of all this and everything? Because even then, like they said right here, and they put it in bold letters so people can see in this article, like, AT&T's 600 megahertz, a potential anchor band for 6G. I don't even know why we're talking about 6G just yet when we're just barely getting our bearings done with 5G. 5G is something that now is pretty much, accessible just about everywhere. So, I mean, I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, you guys can comment your thoughts, concerns, emotional outbursts. Those are watching replay, #replay crew. But anyways, so like the rest of this live stream, I'm really excited to kind of talk about this because I have all these phones here, right? So we have what is this? The J6 from Samsung. So I have that on deck right now. The battery's missing though. I was looking for it earlier. I was like, where's the battery? Because it felt super light. Oh wait, no, the battery is in there. I think I have two of these, so the other one's missing its battery. But I mean, this thing is just absolutely weird. Samsung device. One of the Samsung devices that actually made me like pay attention to Samsung was this phone. Can't find my J15, I think it is. Oh no, not J15. What is it? I know it's a 2015 model, but J7 or I forget the name of it. But anyways. This is not a J6. This is what, a J3 2016 model. I totally forget the names, but anyhow, one interesting thing about this phone is that the NFC is in the battery. Yeah, I mean, I'll try to right there. Now you can see it. You see how on the battery it's slightly raised right there? That's an NFC chip. It's in the battery. So it's like one of the most craziest things about this phone. Holy crap, the LG Volt is charging. I think it is. I think it took a while for it to sit on it. Yep, we're at 5%. So I will be able to power on the LG Volt here soon. I'm going to keep letting it charge up a little bit. And I'm going to turn it on. I believe it has a custom ROM on it. I flashed it several years ago. So, but anyways, yeah. The funny thing about it is that my wife's brother, because he went homeless and everything, he was living with us for a while. And I guess he went through my stuff because he found this phone because it was by his computer, which I didn't know why he had it by his computer. But, his stupid ass broke the screen right there, which pissed me off because this one, the other one was missing a battery. It still turns on. And this one had a battery for it. And it's, just crazy. But yeah, he cracked the display. That pissed me off. But this phone, I remember when I first bought it and unboxed it, I was so impressed by the way that it looked and everything. Very light phone compared to today's smartphones. Single camera right there, but the camera did pretty good. When I went on vacation to Hawaii, I brought this phone with me, and this was the phone I was taking photos with and everything, and they came out pretty good. This was like way back in, I want to say 2015, that I brought this phone with me on vacation back home to see my sister and family and everything. So like, there was some photos taken. Of course, I stayed in stayed in Waikiki. Obviously, to show my wife around over there. And then we went to the west side of the island to Nanakuli and stayed out at my sister's place and everything. So, but yeah, I brought this phone with me over on vacation. And headphone jack, you don't see a lot of those anymore these days. Micro USB. I mean, God, man, this phone is awesome. And I do need to clean them up a little bit. But I'm scared too because the screen is cracked. So I don't want to get any liquid on it. And then it completely fried the phone because I'm going to charge all these phones up. I am going to make some YouTube shorts individually about these phones. So be expecting that, a bunch of updates on some old Boost Mobile phones. I mean, none of these phones can be activated in, according to my knowledge, they cannot be activated on current Boost Mobile today, right? Boost Mobile, like if you try to take one of these phones and get it activated on Boost Mobile, they're just going to advise you to get a up-to-date device. A lot of these are not really supported anymore. And that's just because, I don't know if you guys noticed that. I'll pop it open again so you guys can see, but a lot of these phones from back then on Boost Mobile on the days when it was with Sprint, that SIM tray, so there's like a SIM card down there. You put an SD card right here to expand the storage, but underneath is the SIM card. But the SIM card's only there for LTE connectivity. You literally could actually pull the SIM card out and run the phone and it would connect to 3G before 3G was shut down. So that's the only reason why it had SIM cards was to connect to 4G LTE. Because the earlier phones back in the day when Sprint was in the race of 4G, they were invested in WiMAX, which WiMAX had fast speeds, but it didn't have good signal penetration. It didn't have good long, like long distance range. And so, yeah, Sprint had to, they They had to suck it up that WiMAX wasn't the way, and so they had to revamp and go with LTE, which is why they were behind everybody else when it came to building out an LTE network, was because they chose wrong. I mean, yeah, but another phone that, you know, like I was really excited for back in the day, even though like a lot of people were mad at this phone because it was dumbed down from the original LG Vault. But the LG Vault 2, and I don't know if I still have the battery in it. It's so weird now. I'm like sitting here holding them like, does it have the battery? Because they're so light compared to what we use today. It has the battery. This phone is light as hell compared to like my Pixel 10 or even my Pixel 9a. This thing is light. Man, I would love it if I can get this phone unlocked. I don't give a shit that it's only LTE compatible, but I would love to be able to have this, like, you know, SIM unlocked so I can put my SIM in it and use it. Oh man, I would so totally rock the hell out of this. This phone is just, yeah. I mean, look at that. Look how small it is. Oh man, wow, look at that, man. Holy crap. I'm gonna charge this up too, just to play around with it. I mean, I literally could, right? I could actually take like my little MiFi box and put a SIM inside of it for network connectivity, and then connect all these devices by Wi-Fi to it and be able to use it. I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna like actually do like some videos on this, take this phone out and do some, you know, some photo comparisons and whatnot. But I mean, dude, look at that. Volume down, volume up, and then power buttons and everything. And it's like, it's so weird because, you know, back then I was like, they should have made that a biometric fingerprint sensor right there. Oh, that'd be so freaking cool. Press it with your finger there and it will unlock, right? And like, this is one of the ones I was laughing about last night because I was saying, you know, how it's like, it's kind of curved in the back. The front display's flat, and I was thinking it was like the LG G Flex. I really like the G Flex phones, but I really like this phone too. And even though like the battery was smaller than the original Vault, and they did kind of dumb down a little bit of some of the specs of the LG Vault 2, but it was still a damn good phone. Still a damn good phone. The only LG phone that's missing from the Vault series, because technically the LG Vault 3 was what was it? Not the LG X Charge, because that came after. I have that on the desk here somewhere. But not the X Charge, but the X Power. The LG X Power was technically the LG Vault 3. If you guys remember that. Yeah, there's still a bunch of other phones missing, like my LG Tribute 5. That's like missing from, you know, from this this thing here. Oh, let's see. Who's messaging me on Facebook Messenger? Put my iPhone aside here. Oh, Gene sent an attachment. But anyways, yeah, I got a message from Gene. Shout out to Gene if he's out there, or I don't know if he's at work or whatever. But yeah, really like the LG Vault 2. That should have been their flagship phone. Which one? The LG G Flex. Technically, it was a flagship. The LG G Flex and the LG G Flex 2 were like, so think of it like, you know how Samsung has the Galaxy S and then they have the Galaxy Note. So like that kind of like was their thing, right? So you had like the LG G, you know, G5, G4, G3, like that was their flagship. But the G Flex and the G Flex 2 was like their special edition flagship, right? So the LG G series was LG's flagship. Like the Galaxy has the S series, that's their flagship. I know a lot of people really wanted phones like this right here to be their phablet, you know, their phablet flagship, right? Even though this is a mid-range, this is the LG Stylo 2. People remember the little stylus. Yeah, I kept the stylus. The LG G Stylo somewhere in my storage room, and even those have their styluses still with it. Like I haven't lost them. Only downside to this phone is that my daughter cracked it. You guys see the spider crack on that? Oh man, that's so terrible. And I don't think this has any juice to power on. I doubt it. I don't even know. Does this have a battery in it? Today on Aloha Android, we are saying Does it? It does. It still has the battery. It still has the battery, and the battery is not swollen or anything like that. But I miss smartphones like this. I really do. Just because, I mean, look at that. You know, one of the cool things I like about removable batteries is that, you know, if I was going on vacation for like 2 weeks, right, then I can literally buy additional batteries, right? So, like, of course, this one would say LG on it because it came directly from the OEM. But then you can go on like eBay and find third-party batteries for this phone and buy a bunch of them that has an external battery charger. And then you would just like have batteries in your bag, and when your phone died out, you didn't have to like always plug it in. That's probably why micro USB, people were like, micro USB is more stronger than Type C. I don't think it was that. I think like a lot of us took advantage of the fact that you can get, you know, additional batteries for your phone. And so you really didn't connect it to a charger a lot than like nowadays where you have to like run power banks connected to it. I like the color too. Do you see that? I mean, like when you hold it, it just kind of looks like gray, but then when you kind of turn it, it's like a light purplish accent. Probably one of the big things I really liked about it. Very good phone, and you know, obviously, yeah. I don't know. Did it have a biometric? I gotta look that up when I relook at the specifications. This is very smooth, so I'm wondering if this was. I don't think it was. I don't think it was because the LG Stylo 4 didn't even have biometrics fingerprint sensor. I don't think it did. There's a guy that has an LG Stylo 6, and I'm probably going to want to buy that phone off of him just to be able to play around with it and everything like that. You know, very big, very huge phone. Huge phone. So, but anyways, yeah, very light. So like if you have any of these, you know, in your drawer, I would say grab it out of your drawer and compare it to your smartphone today. And yeah, look how thin it is. This beats the Galaxy S25 Edge when you want to talk about thinness. This beats it. It's pretty damn thin. Now of course we have the LG X Charge, also known as the LG Volt 4. Yeah, this one has seen better days, and I'm gonna try to charge all these phones up so at least their screens can wake up and everything like that. Maybe I don't know. This one I think does not have a removable battery at all. I think with this one you could take the cover off, I think, but it just all it did was just expose does it? Does this come off? I don't remember. I have no flipping clue if it does come off or not. I thought it did, but like the battery wasn't removable, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. No, it does have to come off somewhere because you have the SIM card. I just don't remember where's the best. Never mind. SIM card goes right there. It does not come off. The back doesn't come off. SIM card and SD card right there. Let's open it just for shits and giggles. Let's open it up. Holy crap. Look at that. Look at that SIM tray. Wow. SD card slot right there. SIM right there. Like, man, oh man. Yeah, there's the LG X Charge. And you know, like one of the things you really notice, a lot of these are all single camera. All single camera. You remember how fascinated we were with the photography of these things. Single cameras, like that's like crazy. And here's the LG Realm, right? So it's funny because this phone came out and it was 3G only. And you guys can see I had it in storage. Look how bad that screen is. I gotta wipe all these down with sanitizer and clean them up a little bit because they've been in storage for a while. But this phone was a 3G phone, and it was just so crazy because 4G LTE was just like the norms and everything like that. But I remember I think Metro had a version of this phone that when you tilt it, like you would see graphics on the back. This one doesn't have that. No, well, actually no, it does. But it's like these little. It's really hard to see. It looks like Matrix code. But yeah, a 3G phone. that was pretty interesting. So, uh, so like I said last night, one of my favorite phones was the LG Vault, and it's right here. Let's see where it's at battery wise. 10% battery. So I mean that's good enough to just get it powered on. So let's do that. See if I can get it turned on. So the power button's on the side. Oh, there we go. We got life on this one. I gotta charge all these phones up. It's gonna take me all day to do that. But yeah, that light up button. I love that notification thing. But this probably does it. I don't think it does. The other one was probably flashed with a custom ROM. I don't think this one is because it has the Boost Mobile logo. The other one, the other LG Vault, I flashed it with Cyanogen mod. Yeah. Oh my God, look at that! Wow. Hold on, let me bring the brightness up on this thing. It's like 9%. There we go. Yes, I know there's only 9%. Okay. All right, let's do this again. All right. Oh my God. The LG UX. This is so cool. Why is it not waking up anymore? Something happened to the screen? Or is it dying? No? There we go. It just hasn't been powered on for so long that... Task managers, clear all. Look at that. The software's so wonky. It hasn't been turned on in a long time that it's just like, and it's dropping battery so fast. Wow. Oh my God, it's going through like a whole bunch of stuff. It's just acting very weird. So let me stick this back on the charger. I'm gonna let it charge up some more. But dude, seriously, look at that. LG's freaking Google Plus. You got Google Plus right there. You got Duo right there. I mean, oh my God. I'm gonna start opening up these things. Hold on, let me close some in the background. Look at that. It is trying so hard to just do stuff. So crazy. I'll let it sit, and you know what? Let's clear some of the RAM. 566 megabytes of RAM used. This one had like what, 1 gig of RAM? Man, oh man. Anyways, I'm gonna leave right there to charge for the rest of the day. Let me grab the other phone that I'm gonna show you guys. It's been charging for a little bit. Hopefully we got more than 10%. Hopefully we do. Oh, it's charging. It's at 37% and it's already powered on. You guys know where I'm going with this. You guys know. What phone, like, you know, just under the guesstimate, what phone do you think I'm about to show you guys right now? I just put it down on the desk. Gonna move these out of the way. There's still one more phone on this desk I gotta show you guys, but right there. Take a guess what phone you think that is. I'll give you guys a minute. This was a very, very odd phone. Anyways, so this phone right here is the Sharp Aquos Crystal. Does it do the screen wake by tapping or what? Nope. Look at that. Oh my God, it still powers on. It still got navigation on the screen. I believe it still has ice cream sandwich. Like, woo. Wow. Holy crap. And like I told you guys, it is rooted. It has root. Just no custom ROM. But man, look at that. Look at all these old apps. Like, what the Look at that. Play music. And yes, we have super user. Super user permissions granted for SD made, which allowed you to take an SD card and to format it to bond with the internal storage so you can have more storage on here. Well, like, yeah, movie studios. Man, whoa. The days where Google text messaging was done in the Messages app. I mean, wow, then look at the navigation controls. And it was nearly bezel-less, right? There's only one on here, one bezel on here, and that's right there, where the selfie cam sits, along with the proximity sensor. And you have a headphone jack and power button on top, main camera and flash on the back, microphone and micro USB port at the bottom. And this thing, whoa, son of a, I mean, it has the old school Android user interface. Look at that. Your home screen's in the middle. You got screens to the left, and then you got screens to the right, and there's no widgets on them. It's five home screens, but the middle one, like, no matter where you're at, when you hit home, it goes back there. Holy crap, notification shade. And then look at that. Whoa, that is cool as hell. I'm trying to like lower the brightness. That way you guys can see the display better. Well, I'm like very much into like coral reefs and stuff like that back in the day. So of course my wallpaper looks like that. But, geez. Wow, I mean, this is spiffy. This is absolutely spiffy. Let me connect it to Wi-Fi and see what happens. I'm like, I'm so totally on that right now. Let me full screen this. I'm gonna connect it to Wi-Fi here. Where, let's see, Wi-Fi, and connect it to access denied too. Oh my God. Make sure the password's correct. Connect. Let's find out. Let's find out right now. Do we connect to Wi-Fi? Like, dude, this is like so weird. If I'm gonna like test these phones out, I'm definitely gonna have to like run them off hotspot off my phones. I seriously doubt that any of these are SIM unlocked. And we are connected to Wi-Fi. And it's like, I haven't used this phone for so long, so it's like, oh, you want to use your Google account, you need to type in your password. And I've changed my password so many times, because that's like my rule of thumb when it comes to phones. I change my password to my Google account every 3 months. Let's see. Oh man, I can't even type on this thing. I remember now why this phone irritated me. It had a very shitty touch responsiveness. So typing on the keyboard and then you tap something, it's like, what? What the hell are you talking about? Like, is this serious? Let me sign into my Google account. What is wrong with you? It's got so many things that it's got to do. Wow. Okay, let's do that, and then let's go forward and server. Dude, you totally blow. Anyways, it won't let me get into a Google account, but man, let's look at the camera on this thing. All right, let's flip it around. Oh my God, this is like, this camera quality is like, it reminds me as if I'm using a computer downloading songs from Napster. Holy crap, is there a dedicated camera button? Like, I forgot, how the hell do I take the photo? Oh my God, do you guys hear that? Hold on. I gotta stop looking up because the camera sensor's down, so I gotta look at where it says Aquos. Very slow shutter speed. Are you guys ready for this? Bro. I will post this in the YouTube community, like this photo. I will post it in the YouTube community for you guys. You guys can actually see, because it looks like that my Pixel 7a's camera is making it look better than what it actually looks. That's like shooting through a potato. All right, let's put the camera around. Yeah, volume rocker is the camera shutter button. So let's do this. Flip it around and let's. Now the back camera looks pretty decent. Wow. I mean, it took the picture like that. Oh, HDR is off. Let's turn it on. All right. All right, now let's see if we got something better here going on. Let me take a picture of my Funko Pops. Processing image. Ooh, very slow processing. Wow. Holy crap, that looks bad. Wow, that looks really bad. Oh my god. Let's take a video. Well, let's just see what happens. Oh, you can't film in portrait with these phones back in the day. Some of them you could, some of them you couldn't. This one you can only do in the landscape. It defaults to landscape no matter what. So, oh wow, it's been years since I filmed a video with a Sharp Aquos Crystal. So man, but this resolution looks pretty bad. It doesn't even look like it can record a video very long. I mean, there is an actual like limit timer, I guess. I don't know. There's like a progression bar at the bottom that shows. Wow. Saving to device. Let's open it in gallery just once. Oh, let's do that. Ah. Look, Squawk Box. This is Squawk Box. Hey, what up? I love tech. What's going on? When I say something sounds like a Squawk Box, this is it. The speaker's like down there. Let me play it again.
Oh wow, it's been years since I filmed a video with a Sharp Aquos Crystal.
And as you guys can see the video, like I said, watching this recording makes me feel like I'm downloading music on Napster and BearShare and LimeWire and FrostWire. It's so crazy that we really back in the day we really were into thinking that these types of videos and photos were like amazing. Can you guys imagine? Let's see. So like the video options are pretty weird on this. You got 16:9 6 megapixel 3264 by 1836. Then you got 16:9 full HD 1920 by 1080. You got a 8 megapixel 364 by 2448. That's a 4.3 aspect ratio, and you got 2 megapixel. So like the highest, it's weird. The highest resolution setting, 3264 by 1836, and the video still looks like shit. I'm sorry. I wonder if that phone supports the ability to turn the phone upside down for a selfie camera, so that way. You can. As a matter of fact, that's the way that they advertised it. So you would hold it upside down. Let me flip it around. So you can hold it down like that, and then it's like weird because you would hold it like that to take a selfie, and then it's like, God, that shutter sound is just so crazy. And then yeah, see, it shows it in normal mode. Like, I mean, I would look down at the selfie cam, and just keeping it just because like my thumb naturally rests on the volume rocker, which I would use as a shutter button. But you could turn it upside down, and that way it feels more natural. But like, Sharp was onto something here. I mean, I don't I'm not bothered by bezels, but I know a lot of people are. And look how they were able to create this that was damn near bezel-less. I mean, there's not really a bezel. So if you look at the side right there, there's no bezel. Just the bottom chin. That's the only thing where you can naturally rest your thumb. I just imagine if they put like a biometric fingerprint sensor. See, like if I had like a lot of money, I would actually repurpose a lot of these devices. Like first of all, I would gut the fuck out of these phones and start, you know, putting upgraded components inside. One of the things that I would do with this Sharp Aquos Crystal to make it really cool is I would put it, because we have in-display fingerprint sensors, I would put an ultrasonic fingerprint sensor reader like right there at the bottom, because it's glass. So you touch it and boom. It's like, you know, biometrics, right? Small form factor phone, fits comfortably in the hand, rounded on the back, you know, it's ergonomic, so, you know, it ain't gonna hurt you so much. And look, before iPhone did it, well, iPhone did it first, I would say, those little square boxing. So I keep forgetting that iPhone 4 and 4S, but you know, square boxy, industrial square boxy. See, it is proof you can have rounded back and flat sides. You can make it happen. So whatever Samsung, Google, and all the new manufacturers are doing, like, what are you really doing? This one, I don't think it has a removable battery. I know I totally forgot about that for a second, but not technically, because here we are. So let me see if I can pry this back off. Yep, no removable battery at all whatsoever. So battery is stuck in there. And let me go a top side view here real quick. But yeah. So you have a spot for your SIM, you have a spot for your SD card, and down there is the speaker right there. That's the Squawk Box speaker. And of course, like, you know, all your information and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think it is SIM unlocked. Let's find out. I got a SIM card here. Does it take a small SIM? Let's find out. Let's find out. Nope. You have to have one of those it's not nano SIM. I think it's like micro SIM or whatever. Anyways. Such a weird way to put this back on. Like rub the edges to make sure you hear the clicks. There you go. And the back looks like a Band-Aid. Yeah, so I mean, these are a couple of the Boost Mobile phones that I still have in my possession. Fun one, rooted. So it does have root. No custom ROMs. So I'll probably look at that right now. Let's see. Let's find out. I really want to know. Okay, Sharp Aquos Crystal on XDA. Let's find out. How to flash the stock ROM on a 305SH. Firmware request, Sharp Aquos SH03, Qualcomm EDL mode, need stock ROM. So people need stock ROMs for it. Lots of people were trying to get the Aquos Crystal flash. Here it is, the 306SH, which is a Sprint Virgin Boost Mobile. Change to Ting or GSM. So there's a way to change it. So I might be able to do something with this and possibly get the phone working on, you know, like what's that company? Like on Helium Mobile or something like that. It's a possibility. I mean, I have Helium on my iPhone 11 Pro Max, which is LTE only. Let's see how to unlock the bootloader on the 605. So there were, just so you guys know, there were different variations of the Sharp Aquos Crystal. So yeah, but the 306SH is the model number for the one that I have. So anything that's like here on XDA, I would have to like look at that. What LG phones do I have there? Oh, so I have the LG, hold on, let me go back to the top side camera here. So it just makes it easier for you guys to see. But we got the LG Vault 2. I haven't tested to see if I can charge it up. I'm charging the regular Volt. The LG Vault 1 is right here, and it does power on. So right now it's at 14%, still charging. We have the Boost Mobile LG Realm. I haven't charged this one yet. The LG Stylo 2, and it still has a stylus. So there you go. The LG X Charge, which is aka the LG Vault 4. And then non-LG device, the Samsung Galaxy J3 2016 model. Still have it. I'm gonna try and charge this up later, see if I can get the screen to turn on. I'm gonna charge all these up and see if I can get them turned on. And then also one that I have here, one of my favorite Motorola devices, the Moto E4 Plus with the fingerprint sensor. I remember I was like, with this phone, I was like boss at work because, you know, fingerprint sensor. Back then, fingerprint sensors mattered. Now they're not even. I wonder if I can run Gemini on these things. So like that's what I'm gonna be doing over the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna charge all these phones up, get them some active battery going on in there, and then I'm going to see if I can run Gemini on them. Of course, I won't be able to activate them on any phone services because they're not SIM unlocked from Boost Mobile, and Boost Mobile today will not SIM unlock these at all, even if you try. So I would have to like use a little MiFi hotspot box thingy and just have these connect to that for data connection. Yeah, the J3 with Net 10, nice. Have I ever used a Sony Xperia? So there's a phone that you know, a good friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago, he let me use his phone. It was actually his, but he let me use it for, you know, for the hell of it. But it's actually the PSP phone. I forgot what the hell they call it. But yeah, it's a PlayStation phone, right? So you slide up, and instead of a QWERTY keyboard, it had, you know, control pad buttons. So I use that. That's about the most of it. When I had Boost Mobile before Dish, was... Oh yeah. So you recognize a lot of these LG phones from Boost Mobile, right? The ones I don't have with me right now that's in storage that I have to look through my storage boxes and find them is the G Stylo, so the original LG G Stylo. I have... Actually, I think I have almost all the Stylo series. So I have the G Stylo, the Stylo 2's right here in front. I have the Stylo 3, and I have the Stylo 4. The only ones I don't have was the 5 or the 6. Then I have the LG Vault, the LG Vault 2, the X Powers in storage. That's considered the LG Vault 3. And then I have the LG X Charge, which is considered the LG Vault 4. The LG Vault is like one of my favorite phones from Boost Mobile. This thing was just awesome when it came to battery. And of course, you remember the LG UX. Very similar to TouchWiz. This thing's so old, it's still got Google Plus on it. It's got Facebook Messenger. Man, there's just a lot of stuff happening here. I don't think this one's rooted. No, it's not rooted. If it was rooted, then I would have Super SU on there. Dang, these things are old as hell. I'm gonna stick this on the other charger because this one seems to just like, yes, I know there's only 14% battery left. I got it. Do I have any Nokias? No, I don't have any Nokias. The last Nokia that I had, it was one of the really old cell phones. Hold on, let me put this on the charger real quick. There we go. It's charging now. Yeah, I want to get that phone charged up because if I can revive my LG Vault, it doesn't need to be able to make phone calls and stuff like that. But since I have like YouTube Music, I can definitely use it like a little, like an iPod, but an LG pod. I would just resurrect it for that reason. For like photography and stuff like that, hell's no. But it's got a pretty decent battery size. And since the display is a TFT display, obviously the battery is gonna last pretty long because it's not really pushing the screen very hard. So yeah, and it's got a headphone jack, so I don't have to like Bluetooth connect in my vehicle. I can use my auxiliary line and just plug it in, and boom, there you go. The 3310s with Snake, yeah, I remember them. I remember playing, Snake quite a bit, and I remember being like superly addicted to it. So yeah, I don't know, but anyways, yeah, I've been live for a cool minute here, and I appreciate everyone for coming in. Be on the lookout because I am gonna, be charging up all these phones here and powering them on, and getting them caught up with updates that they need. And then there's going to be some video releases on these phones just to kind of like, a little nostalgic review on them and, how I felt about them, using them and whatnot. So, I mean, all those are coming up pretty soon, of course, Pixel and, the iPhone over here. Got videos on that coming along the way as well. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And like I said, if you guys want to DM me and reach me without, having to use anything that ties to you, just, to keep it private. Like I said, Sessions is the way to reach, is to the best way to get at me is on Sessions. It's a private messaging app that, doesn't need a phone number or email. Check my community section here on YouTube, and it has the QR code to basically find me. You sign up with Sessions, like I said, no email, no phone number. You just need to create your own username, and that's pretty much it. And then also, it gives you passphrases. That's like your lock code to get in. So copy paste those to like a secure place. So when you log back in, you use those phrases to log back in. Sessions is, decentralized private chat messaging, and obviously you can tell it's in the world of crypto. So, I mean, you don't earn crypto on it or nothing like that. You don't earn any of that, but it does use that type of networking to make all this possible. So, anyways, yeah, you guys just, be cool and safe out there, man. We're getting close to Christmas and stuff like that, so. And I'll be going live at the end of this week, Friday. So I'll be doing another live stream on Friday. And I got to get that Vlogmas Day 8 video out. I still haven't done it yet. I'm so sorry I'm late to doing it while I'm already working on Day 9. But that'll be coming up here later on today, so be on the lookout for it. But yeah, you guys be cool out there. I will talk to you guys in the next one. Aloha.